Morning all, it's your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, and welcome to another Create and Relate. It is Monday morning, August 19th, and let's get right into it. Okay, so what I managed to get done, still having trouble with bed sores, y'all. What I managed to get done between yesterday and today is, first of all, I had a wonderful visit with my oldest daughter. She came to see me and sat with me for the longest, and I was absolutely elated. I'm still elated. We managed to get a little more cleaning done, a little more things put away, so now I can see my floor just about all around me. Whereas it looks like I have less crocheting around me, I actually have, if I have less, it's because I've worked up a little bit. I did manage to get 2 scrunchies done. I did not weave in the ends yet, but once they're complete, they're complete. This is the second purple one, actually. The other is already in place. So I have the blue and the purple. I did not work on the baby blanket at all. Like I said, my daughter was here. I was totally into her. I got 9 more rounds added to the second dress. I can show you the progress on that. Here I am. So it's just about to cover the breast area, and from here it's just gonna flow. So I'm excited about that. I got to a point where I stopped increasing because I didn't want it to flow from up here. I want it to flow from down here. It's not going to be as defined of a waist as this one. As a matter of fact, I don't think it's going to be a waist, but it's definitely got to have a little bit of definition for me to feel comfortable with the way it looks. I managed to get a half dozen pencil holders done as well. So I've been working on my projects for the school and for the G.R.O.W Foundation. If you need that list again, it's 500 washcloths, 300 hats, 200 scrunchies, 100 ear warmers, 100 scarves, and 50 baby blankets. Kiara said that she could get on the scarves for me. If we have more in any department, it's a plus for me. So I decided with those little balls of yarn that I got from Temu, that I'm actually adding them into the dress instead of relying on the 4 skeins that I had. Where I am right now in this colorway here is actually about a ball and a third of the Temu yarn that I got. So I was able to do all of the top and a couple of rows here, and that's when I realized, I was like, okay, if I just use these 4 balls, all I'm gonna get is like maybe a long shirt, and I do want it to be a skirt. So I decided to use the colors from the box that I got, and I don't know what's gonna come after red. Who knows? I know that I don't want to, I'm not going to use them all, I do know that, and that I don't want to go in rainbow color because I always do that. And excuse me, I want to do something to break the monotony. My daughter did bring me a ton of empty water bottles, so it did give me plenty to work on, and I was grateful for that as well. I have so far 2 names. They've not been cut out yet, but I do have 2 names that will be cut out and going into the bag for drawings for the giveaway. And what I'm putting up here is their YouTube name or their YouTube handle, the kind of yarn they said they like, and the size needles they like to work with. And like I said, those names are going to go into a bag, and I'm going to let one of my grandchildren hold the bag and shake it up, and I'm going to let the other reach in and pull out a name. This is going on until August 31st, so there's plenty of time. There is plenty of time. Go back and check out that 100th video. It is a replay of the live, so it'll let you know what you have to do to enter. I pretty much just told you, but in case you didn't catch it, go back and look at the video, and it'll definitely give you the information that you need. Topic of the day: customer service from the sales representative point of view. A lot is put on any sales representative. I've worked in that capacity since the age of 5, and I'm not kidding. I started working at the age of 5 in my aunt's store. She had what was equivalent to the little country store or the corner store. Excuse me, only it was in the middle of the block. I remember it almost like it was yesterday. It was an old wooded place. Looked like it may have been a small, or no, a large shed at some point. You had the store in the front, where she had along the, when you walked in the door along the left, she had the heavy bulky items when you first walked in, and then the last two sections were the cold, like the ice cream and stuff like that. Excuse me. To the right, of course, we had things on the shelves in the back that we don't want people to just walk in and take. Had that problem way back then in the 60s as well. I think it's an age-old thing, but anyway, we had the candy set up behind a glass, and then there was the cash register right beside the candy, and then it was the big jar items like the cookies and the pickles and the larger pieces of candy, but small enough that you could kind of grab. We always had our paper bags set up. We didn't know anything about plastic bags then. And then just beyond that was an opening. It was kind of like an archway, and that was her chill space. That was her when she, before she let me work during the lunch hour, when she would take her lunch break and she'd go back and sit in her rocking chair. I had my blanket spread out on the floor. She had her heater back there, or her fan, depending on what season it was. We had a wash basin back there. You can tell I'm old. What we now call a sink. We went from wash basin to zinc. Yeah. But we had that in there, and she had her TV in her rocking chair, like I said, set up. Excuse me. There was also a back door there. Outside the back door is where we had the outhouse. She did not have indoor sewage, that type of plumbing, but we did have 2 running sinks, one up front and one in the back. She was the one who taught me how to make sure you wash your hands frequently. And not only did I learn that from her, with my grandmother being manager of a cafeteria kitchen, I learned it from my grandmother as well. Now, getting back to the sales representative. First of all, you have to start your day with a positive attitude, because everything you feel is conveyed in some type of way, either in your eyes, your facial expressions. I'm sorry, y'all. Either in your eyes, your facial expressions, your demeanor, your overall attitude. It shows, and you have to be aware of that. And most of the time, it's something that happened outside of work that causes conflict with customers. Like I said, I've done it for too long. And if you're really honest about it and you step back and look at it, it's either the pressures of home, the pressures of a relationship, pressures with your children. And when I say home in the beginning, I don't mean those people. I mean things like the bills, a financial strain, or it could be a broken down vehicle or something, which falls back to the financial strain. Or you and your significant other are having like major issues and not seeing eye to eye. You're relaying that to others, and you can't do that. You can't do that. You have to look at customers like portions of your paycheck. You have to put a dollar sign on everybody that comes into that place. I don't care what kind of job it is you have. I've done everything from the country store to a hotel desk clerk. Okay, manager at a Dollar General, manager at a 7-Eleven. I've done it. Sales rep at a drugstore. I've done it, y'all. So I know. I'm not saying customers can't take you there, because they can. They can. But in those situations, before you respond, you have to ask yourself, is my response going to be worth it? And not for the moment, but for the long term. One Valentine's night at Walgreens, guy comes up, you could smell the alcohol. And I'm not using that as an excuse. But we had the monkeys with the long arms that you could hug. And their hands would, Velcro together. So he takes one of the hands of the monkey and he slaps me in the face with it. I had never been in trouble or anything on my job. As a matter of fact, before that, I worked at Walmart at the customer service desk. Didn't even get in trouble there. And one of the assistant managers at Walmart was the manager at this Walgreens. So Sean knew me. He knew me, and he knew my capabilities. He knew that when I got angry, I would walk away from a situation. When I got frustrated, I would politely ask if I could go and break for a few minutes. I tried to do all the good and professional things. Y'all, that night I didn't do the good and professional thing, because I took the other arm of that monkey and I slapped him back in his face. Not good. In that, I had the 3 other aspects to worry about: the customer himself, the manager, and spectators. And you have to keep those things in mind. Everything that you do when you are a customer service rep, you have to put a dollar sign on it. You take that customer that comes in and, okay, the money that they're spending, he's a little $15. Okay, that's lunch for a day. And I'm not saying little as in lightly. What I'm putting it into perspective of my paycheck. So this particular night, let's say it was a Tuesday. Don't remember what day of the week it was, but let's just say that it was a Tuesday. Then everybody who comes up, all those $15 that add up, and we got paid every 2 weeks, then I'm going to need 10 customers to pay that $150. To pay that $15 to come up with the $300 that I need, the $150 that I need, $300 for the month. And so I'm going to have to treat these people like I want them to come back. Because I don't just want lunch today, this week, and next week, or even just the month. I'm planning on being here for a while. I'm going to need to make sure you cover my lunch every time I'm here. You come with the customer that's spending, $30 or $40, and that's, say, your water bill. So I know the water bill comes twice a month. I'm going to need two of them. And you have to do that. You have to look at the fact that this person is paying my rent, my gas, my water, my electric, my internet or cable or whatever streaming device that you have, my phone bill, putting groceries in my house, clothes on my kids' back, shoes on their feet, any of the little extra stuff that I like to do. If I want to get my nails done, if I want to get a pedicure, if I want to go get a massage, these people are doing this for me. So I need to treat them like I enjoy their company for this 15 to 30 seconds. I need to make them feel like the most special person in the world. And as a sales rep, that's how you have to look at it. Because trust me, as a customer, and I've done it too many times, you treat them badly, they're not coming back. They don't care that you were having a bad day. And there is a way that you can have a bad day and you can tell them and still give good service. If you're not smiling as bright as you usually smile, or you're moving a little slower, chances are, especially the repeat customers, you're not smiling like you usually do. What's going on? We got some family issues and I'm trying to shake it. 9 times out of 10, they're going to give you a positive word. They are. And they're going to leave with, I hope you feel better. When I come in tomorrow, I need to see that smile. Indicating that they're going to come back because you still gave them good service. You can give them good service 10 times straight that they come in. And then on the 11th time, be a total B about it and never see them again. Another instance, as a customer service representative, there was a gentleman who used to come into my 7-Eleven every morning. We would joke each other so hard, and it was out of fun and out of love. So he brings his wife in one morning and he says to her, honey, this is your sister wife talking about me. We kind of laughed it up, giggled it up or whatever. Well, one morning he comes in and he looks flustered. And I recognized it right away. Hey, what's going on? He said, I left my key at home and I can't get back into my car. I didn't understand. And he said, the key, I have a fob that goes to my car, and that's how I start my car. But when I was rushing out of the house, I left the key. And he said, and now I can't get back into my car to get home, even turn the car off. Mine went into action. Even though I was having mechanical problems with my van, I gave him the keys. I said, hey, go home, get your keys. When you drive it, you're going to have to do this. When you first take off, you're going to have to baby it. It needs working. Just wait until the weekend. Go get your keys. My manager looked at me and she was like, oh my God, you're an angel. No, I'm not. This is a customer that comes in every single day. I want to see him every single day. Even though he just gets a breakfast sandwich and a cup of coffee, I need him to do this every day because he's paying my phone bill every month. Just in him coming in here, getting that cup of coffee and that breakfast sandwich, he is paying my phone bill. And I want him to keep paying my phone bill as long as I'm here. Sounds like a small thing. And even though he wasn't, because I understand that the money he pays gets divvied up to everybody. But if you look at it from that perspective, almost guaranteed, you'll get better service and you'll get a better return from your customers. I've had those who have come in who were just negative. There was a group of men who worked in construction from Honduras who came in the store, and there was one who always just looked evil. Just, so he comes in, like I said, and every time he came up to the register, I learned to speak a little Spanish, a lot from my customers, 2 years in high school, and that I've learned on my own. So I would greet him in Spanish. We'd have a little conversation. I'd ask him what he wanted, if he wanted a bag, if he wanted a receipt. And finally one day he comes in, his face is all balled up, so when he comes up to the register, I'm smiling at everybody else. I look at him and I'm like, and I could see a smile starting to form. I said, yeah, you try to play hard, but I know there's a softy down in there somewhere. And he said to me before I learned the word, and he said, tú eres muy guapa. So his homeboys heard it. And I'm looking dumbfounded because I did not know. I knew the tú eres muy. I knew that, but I did not know what guapa meant. And like the second person after him that came up, I was like, what did he just call me? And he said, you're very beautiful. So then I turned and looked at the first one. I was like, well, then I'm going to need you to smile. I'm going to need you to smile. Every time I see you from this point on, if you're not smiling, I'm not going to smile back. And from that point on, every time he came in, they would come in for breakfast. They would come in for lunch. They would manage to come back. I was only there for 8 hours, guys. They would manage to come back before I got off. You know, even though they were doing construction in the area, I worked from 6 to 2. They would come in about 6:30 in the morning. They came back about 10:30, and then they would end there like 1:45. Every day, you know, especially after that exchange. And it made me feel good. I have a hat right now, a Dallas Cowboy cap. Joking with my customers, I said to one guy who was Asian Pacific descent, and I said to him, I need a Dallas Cowboy cap. I knew he worked in construction. He took the cap off of his head and slammed it on mine. And I said, no, I couldn't take. He said, no, keep it. Just, make sure you wash it because it's got all kinds of sawdust and stuff in it. And of course, when he took his hat off, his hair was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And he said, I wash my hair daily, twice sometimes. And there's nothing going, but we had that exchange. And I still have that cap. And then when extra things happen, they're deserved. My daughter right now is on the management team at McDonald's, and I don't think there's a week that she comes home that she doesn't tell me, Mom, I got a tip today. Mom, so-and-so left me their change today. Mom, look at this, where somebody has given her a necklace or something. To a lot of people, things like that is surprising. If I could tell you some of the gifts that I got, and I'm not talking for instance, I got a Pandora bracelet. I got a sapphire necklace and earring set. I got a herringbone necklace. I got a crystal wrapped in 24 karat gold. There was one family that used to come in for the duration of my time at that store every Christmas. They would give me $200 in a card. But it's because I saw them not only as dollar signs, but humans that were just trying to come get what they needed and go on. And I made them feel in that little 15-second exchange like they were the most important people in my life at that time. Some of them I still keep in contact with. I do. And it's not easy for everybody, but it's easier than a lot of people think it is. You just have to put things into perspective and realize, how do you want people to treat you? you can't expect fast and friendly service after you flustered someone as a customer. And your customer cannot be expected to come back if you, as the service representative, has treated them like crap. It just does not work that way. And I don't know what has happened to the now generation that they feel so entitled, or they feel that you got to give respect to get respect. No. Respect is not a requirement. It is, but it isn't. But if you don't give it, don't expect it back. I see it every day that I go to Walmart. I'm pushing around on my little cart. Today even, when I went in, I had to sit in an aisle in the produce section for 45 seconds. I sat there and I timed it. Why, I don't know. But I had to sit there for 45 seconds while 3 Walmart workers, 2 in front of me, 1 behind me, would not move their carts. I'm trapped. And you see me trying to get through. So I turned my scooter off and propped up on my hands. And then one of them finally comes over. The person furthest away from me, in front of me, finally comes over, and he's like, "Sweetheart, I am so sorry. I am so sorry." And he looks at the other 2 and he's like, "Why don't y'all move? I know you see her here." And I was glad to get through, but I know they saw me. Especially when you look right at me and make comments about how fast it goes and how snazzy it looks and things like that. To move out of the way so I can shop. I'm not a nasty person by nature, so I didn't give them the smoke I could have given them. I didn't give them the smoke I felt like giving them. Because it wouldn't have been the little goofy smile that I do. Like, yeah, it's okay, just move. Nah. It's not the way I felt, truly. But yes, you do have to give respect to get respect. But you can't expect a person who has more experience than you, who is coming in from work hot, tired, sweaty, dirty, ready to just pick up the components for their meal and get home, or whatever it is they've come into your place of establishment is, even if it's after traveling all day and they're coming to the hotel just to get some rest. What time does your bistro open? Okay, fine, I'll be back down at 5:30. You cannot expect them to be hello, nice, friendly, not snatching things, if you don't show them the way you want to be treated. If you give them attitude, chances are they're going to give you attitude back. When they come up to the point of service, the POS, the checkout, whatever, and you greet them with, "Is that it?" I don't want to be bothered with you either. Another time over at Walmart recently, I went through the line. I'd rather do self-checkout, but I went through the line and I expressly said to them, I had 2 Hawaiian Punch drinks, 1 pink grapefruit drink, an 18 cart of eggs, and a loaf of bread. When I put them on the belt, I said, "Could I only have 1 bag, please?" This lady proceeds to putting 1 item in each bag. So I'm sitting here at the turnabout, and I'm repackaging my things, and just politely laid her other 4 bags back on top of the little carousel, put my drinks down on the floor of my scooter, add my bread and eggs in my basket on the front, grab my grandkids by the hands, and we scuttlebug on back home. But she was like, what's wrong with you taking the bags? My first inclination of a response is none of your business. My feelings, I have enough bags here at home. I don't need to take any more. I live right next door. If I didn't feel uncomfortable about taking these eggs and this bread, wouldn't have had a bag for that. I went to the store today. I just told you that. But what I went to the store for when I came back, I didn't have a bag. I went for syrup, breakfast sausage, and we used the Hillshire beef sausage. But breakfast sausage and pancake mix. I didn't have a bag. It wasn't early in the morning. It wasn't late at night. You know, it's in the middle of the day. I have my receipt. Went to the self-checkout, checked out, showed my receipt to the greeter, and I came on home. But sometimes if I don't recognize the greeter when I come in, I will take a bag. But other than that, I try hard not to. You know, and please don't question. Please don't double bag my stuff. I'm going right next door. And please don't give me more bags than I really, really need. Now, granted, I don't want you to put, you know, if I had wanted, say, 3 bags that day, I don't want you to put the eggs in the bag with the juice. I don't want you to put the bread in the bag with the juice. I know. No. I don't want the juice in the bag, period. And you can put the eggs underneath the bread, and they can go in the same bag and sit right here in my basket until we get right next door. What's the harm in that? So, all of that was said to say, as a customer service representative, check yourself. You know, when you get up and you get ready for work, get all of you ready for work. Attitude included. Leave whatever is not work related where it belongs. Whether it's home, at church, at the nightclub, at your best friend's house, wherever it is. Leave it there when you go into work. You're going into work so that you can sustain a living. You're not going into work to unload your problems on your coworkers and your customers. You try to get your bills paid so you can make a living, or you can buy that car, or you know, you can have a nice Christmas, or whatever it is that you're choosing to do or that you have to do with your funds. That's your reasoning, not, you know, and not just for the paycheck. You know, some people go just to get out of the house. That's great. And they're the ones who have the best attitudes. They are the ones who have the best attitudes. They're like, my spouse takes care of me, you know, or my kids take care of me, Uncle Sam takes care of me, whatever. And they go about their time there spreading joy, spreading cheer, and nobody has to get on them, pull them aside, check them, whatever, because they've given excellent customer service. You know, it's rewarding for them. It can be a lot more rewarding for the person who gives bad or negative service if they would just check themselves before they go to work. So, that's enough about that. Tomorrow I will be coming from the perspective of management. It's all customer service related. Sorry I'm not doing any crocheting right now. I've got a busy morning and I have some things that I have to get taken care of, but trust and believe I will be crocheting a lot later on. But you guys have an awesome day. As I always say, when you walk past that mirror and you see that reflection, make sure you tell that reflection I love you, and know from the bottom of my heart and the depths of my soul that I, Kitty Lane, love you too. And guys, don't forget to check your subscriptions. Make sure you still subscribe to the channels that it says you're subscribed to, because somehow or another YouTube or somebody's kicking them out like crazy. So keep an eye on that. Love you guys.